Let's make some mesh trails. Hi, I'm Pojo and welcome to
Quick Notes.
Okay, so starting off, I have a little sphere here that is just wiggling around, and that's what we're going to put the mesh trail on. After that, I'm going to create a plane, and that's what's going to become the trail. We apply a geometry nodes modifier to this plane, and we don't really need the group input. We're going to generate everything inside geometry nodes. Step number one, we need to know where our sphere is. So get an object info node, set it to relative, and select your sphere. Next, we'll bring in a points node. This just creates points. We're going to connect the location of our sphere to the position of this point, and that way we have a point within our geometry node system that follows exactly where the sphere is. Now things are going to get interesting. We'll bring in a simulation zone. In that simulation zone, we'll add a join geometry node, and we'll connect our point straight into it. And as you can see, it is now storing the point position for every single frame. This is what we're going to use to make our mesh trail, but for now, we still need to make a couple of tweaks because we don't want this trail to go on forever. So we need to find out the age of each of these points. For that, we're going to bring in a store named attribute node, and we'll put it right after the join geometry node. Now we bring in a named attribute node, and we give it the same name, age, to both of these. We'll add a math node set to add, and the second value will be 1, and we'll connect these together. What this is doing is essentially just adding 1 every frame, and that's how we keep track of the age of the point. Now that we have the age, we need to delete the points after they're too old. So for that, we'll bring in another math node, set it to greater than, connect the named attribute to it, and the threshold will be how many frames do we want this trail to last for. And we'll connect that into a delete geometry, and as you can see, it is now deleting the points after they've been on screen for a few frames. Now that we have our points, we can finally make our actual trail. For this, we'll need a points to curves node, but as you can see, it's a little bit jagged, so maybe we add a resample curve on top of it, so that we can just add more resolution to our curve. After that, we'll use a curve to mesh node. We'll connect a curve line to it. I would recommend using the Y value for the curve line. Make sure that on the start and the end, you have the same value, but one is negative and one is positive. In my case, I'm using 1 meter positive, 1 meter negative. The last step that we need is just a spline parameter node and a map range. We'll connect those two together, connect those to the scale, and now our trail becomes thinner towards the end. And that's how you make a trail. Hope you guys make some cool stuff with it. See ya!